What's poppin', y'all? It's your man DJ Steph Floss here with episode 3 of Friends of the Podcast. I know you hear some like man, it's like calypso music in the background.
It's vibey.
Man. It's very
super vibey.
Very vibey. This is actually a live podcast. Right now we're at the Soho House, Miami Beach. This is a Super Bowl weekend right now. And, you know, friends of the program, so I have my very, very good friend, Rodney Rikai, with me. Yo, your last name is pronounced Rikai, right?
Rikai, man.
What is that like? Is it Spanish or is it like...
It's Japanese.
You're Japanese? Now that I look at you, you do got a little Asian. Yo, what?
That's
Yo,
racist.
So,
That's
yo,
racist.
No.
That's racist. Now my eyes look squinty.
No.
Nah, man. Yo, honestly, so it's a moniker. It's a name that I adopted. I don't really fuck with my my father's surname, so
Okay.
you know it's something that I chose for myself, and it's dope. It's a dope name, and it's like an iteration, right? Because you got the R, you got the R.
You know
what I'm saying? Like, it's a thing.
I like
Roddy Rich stole my swag.
Oh man,
He
you
got
know,
me.
Ricky, you know what I'm saying?
Ricky Ricardo.
Ricky Ricardo. You got Richie Rich. You know, it's a lot of double
It's a
Rs.
thing. It's a thing, man. It rang nicely, so I just was like, I'm rocking with it. Fuck
But
it.
are you Japanese?
You know, I still haven't done the DNA test. I think it's
So I was being slightly. Oh,
yeah.
God.
So I feel like black people shouldn't have to pay for DNA tests.
Yo, I was just telling somebody about that. So I was in Paris Fashion Week, and it was crazy. So you know, you meet different people overseas, or even like Toronto. Everyone knows their lineage, but like we've lost kind of our lineage in the United States because of slavery. So when people are like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "Cleveland."
Right.
And they're like, "No, where are you from?" And I'm like,
that fucks us up, man.
Somebody told me, they was like, "No, you're a Nigerian." I'm like, "How do you know that?" They were like, "Cause you know a lot of English." I'm like, I'm not French. It was like, "Oh, okay." But I'm like,
you do look a little Yoruba or Igbo.
I'm
not mad. I don't know. I'm diametrically opposed to like paying for someone to tell me where I come from after you stole me from there. Like that's like, you can't steal my drugs and then charge me to get them back. Like that's not. We're not doing that.
At some point, I might just do a family tree, man, and just figure out.
Call it a day.
As of my right now, because of my skin complexion, my big forehead, I'm gonna go with I probably am West African.
You might be like Senegalese or something. You know what I mean? You look like you might, Sudanese.
All right, I'm just start. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, Sudanese. I think you should claim Sudan.
People ask me, I'm Sudanese.
It works. It works.
Nigerian is a little more common. I'm going Sudanese.
You want to live outside the box, right? That's what we aim to do in our day-to-day lives.
That's what it is. So as we continue with Friends of the program, this is our 3rd episode. So I mean, that was just like a little icebreaker. But I have these 5 icebreaker questions that I begin every podcast with. Not the same questions, just different 5 questions, just to see, you know what I'm saying, what type of friends my friends really are. First question is, it was written better than Illmatic?
No. I mean...
No, like...
No.
Why would...
You know what? I think that there's something to be said about somebody's first album telling the entirety of their life's story up to that point. Like, so Nas had 18 or 17 years of life that he incorporated into Illmatic, bro. I think it's hard to beat somebody, for an album to be better than that in someone's catalog. Like, out the gate, 17 years of your life being reported on.
There is an album that's better than that out the gate, and it is called Reasonable Doubt.
Well, no. I'm talking about in Nas's catalog specifically. Yeah. I'm not comparing it like to all-time rap albums, but for someone's catalog, like their first album, it usually tells the broadest of stories because it's the most amount of time you've accrued in putting it together. It's 17 years of his life, not 2 years that went in between.
But musically, which one is better? Stephanie Resi, by the way, I'm saying goodbye to a good friend of ours we just met.
We're really in the mix over here.
She has an app called Resi. It's a competitor of Open Table, but it's much better and it looks newer, and it's just very dope. So Stephanie,
how much did you cover his tab? Because
No,
this sounds like marketing and advertising over here.
The pleasure was all right.
Yeah, man.
Pleasure was all right. Meanwhile, these guys over here were about to let an iguana.
Right. Dude, if the iguana comes over here, please let me know. I'm way too close right now.
All right, musically though.
Well, yeah, I mean, the production gets better, right?
Okay, all right.
So you're a DJ, right? You like sounds, like that's important to you. So yes, his production got way better. But in terms of like rapping, I don't think the rapping on It Was Written is better than the rapping on Illmatic.
Okay.
Personally.
Best HBO series of all time.
Yo, that's really tough. It's got to go with... I have to say The Wire just because of the way Game of Thrones ended, but Curb Your Enthusiasm is like it's like 1B.
Yo, so what's a sub category of that question? When you hear that HBO, what's the first theme song you think of after that? I go straight to Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It's Curb. That's one of the better theme songs that HBO is. It's.
I'm not gonna front. I go Sex and the City as well. I loved Sex and the City when I was growing up.
Great series. I don't really refer to the theme song though.
I refer.
Great series. Movies could have been better. And
Entourage.
Oh my God, that's tough. That's so tough. And even like
you got
Oz. Yo, yeah, man. That was like the first time that I saw like gay sex on TV.
Oz was such a ridiculous show now that I'm thinking about it.
Bro, it was ahead of its time.
The first thing I think about when I think of that is how to Adebisi
keep his hat on tilt. Yeah, man. But seriously, that was the first time that they really showed like male body parts that I can recall on like television.
And it was like prime time, 9 p.m.
Bro,
on the Lord's Day.
Yeah, bro. I mean, great show though. Great show.
Better team name: Washington Wizards or the Washington Bullets?
Bullets, easily. What the fuck is a wizard, bro?
Oh, I know you're gonna do that now. By the way, I'll tell you about his story. You'll get to know why this is my friend and what he does.
Bullets. And DC is gentrified now. Can we switch the name back? Ted Leonsis, Zach Leonsis. Can we get?
But you can't. But the Bullets is like it's kind of like affiliated. Bullets. That's kind of like gunshots on the radio.
There's a team called the Cleveland Indians. There's the Washington Redskins. What are we talking about here? If we're gonna be offensive,
I'm totally against Chief Wahoo, and I'm glad we got rid of it.
Okay.
And I think that was what was holding us back for a world championship. So maybe we'll hurry up and get one soon.
Okay.
On an airplane, which armrest is yours?
All of them. Yo, if I beat you to the punch, I'm securing my spot with my elbow, and you gotta just deal with it. Even if you're in the middle seat and I'm on the aisle of the window, fam, I'm claiming the armrest, fam. I'm claiming the armrest.
If you have a window seat, you kind of just have to go with your head is on the
right. Yeah, okay.
Or the right or the left or whatever.
But Steph, can we be honest?
Yeah.
We usually fly first class. We usually
it's all right.
Our seats are usually flat.
It's all right. It's all right. Yo, this is a serious question, and it's a great question because of where we're sitting right now.
Right.
And this is something I'll tell you what. Do you whisper white people?
No.
When there are white people around and you're talking about white people.
And I think it's weird when black people whisper black people.
No, look, I know. Look.
Yo.
No, but no, seriously, guys, this is the thing. I hate when either race whispers black or white because it's like it's not a bad word. You don't have to whisper.
It's so. It's you know what I really hate.
By the way, these guys are white next to us right now.
When someone
they were about to let iguana just crawl over.
Super wild. When someone is trying to describe somebody, right, and they're like, no, they had the green sweater on. Like, yo, use the most obvious thing. Say it was the black guy. He's the only one in the room. There's 19 guys with a green shirt on. Just say the black one. Just say the black guy. It's okay, man. You can say black, white people.
All right, so let's get right to it, man. Once again, my guy, Rodney Rikai. Now, listen, we're going to get into, what you do for a living and why you're famous and all of this. But there's something I really want you to delve into. I hear you say this a million times. Twitter, we've talked about it. Yo, what is the problem? Why is it so hard to date in Los Angeles, California, man?
Yo,
what is the problem?
So there's a couple of different issues in Los Angeles that make it hard to date. One, everyone who moves to Los Angeles, we move there to pursue our passions. We have hopes of grandeur, and so it's really hard to give someone the energy that it requires to really build a foundation for a relationship. At the same time, socially, like, LA is so nuanced, and if you got to LA late, everyone has fucked everyone already, and so now you're trying to figure out who has fucked your friends the least.
Because guess what? You're not gonna find anybody who hasn't.
Yeah, everyone's been touched. Yeah, everyone's been sullied. For sure.
So it's
yeah, like that's what it is.
Exactly.
So you gotta just figure out who do you really connect with, and then like people have to live with false bravados. You gotta get through that. Like women have to be protective because in 2020, some men are still creeps out here.
Right.
So I understand women being protective and preventative from encountering fucked up niggas. I get all of it, man.
Right.
And then at the same time, women have adopted traditional, antiquated, masculine ways of operating within dating. Basically, women in LA have became niggas. We can be honest.
So you live in LA now, but you are from, shout out to Chief Keef, you are from Jersey.
It's
so funny.
Nobody's blowing Jersey up, son. Nobody's on that.
We were in the club last night. Finito came on. One part where he said, Chief Keef, we gonna go and blow New Jersey up. I hadn't rapped the whole song. I just happened to rap that. He got so mad. So, give us a little of your Jersey background. You were born there, high school?
Yeah. So I'm born and raised in Jersey. I grew up in Duality. So I grew up in a town called South Orange and a town called Irvington. My parents divorced when I was 3.
Orange. I think I was just in Orange. It's like, it's not too far from the airport, right? It's not too far from
North. None of it. Even Irvington and South Orange are like they border, so it's really like they're really back to back, but they're very different. So in South Orange, I got to go to the same high school as Lauryn Hill, Rotimi, SZA, L'Oreal, who's on radio now in DC.
Shout out to my girl L'Oreal.
Yeah, man. So like those are people that I grew up with and around. I was actually Rotimi's high school basketball coach. On the flip side, my father lived in Irvington. That's the hood, right? Like that's just, so I had to grow up speaking in 2 tongues. For whatever reason, I tended to gravitate towards being in Irvington more so than South Orange, and it wired me for this journey that I've been on, man. Like it made me super tough-minded. I'm comfortable amongst the snakes and the wolves, but also I can speak the King's English.
Right.
So yeah, that's my experience in Jersey. It was a good time, great place to grow up. Couldn't be grown there though.
So high school and all of that. What college was that in Jersey or?
Nah, North Carolina A&T State University, Aggie Pride. You know about it.
Is that an HBCU or no?
Yeah, it's an HBCU.
I mean, I don't know.
Come on, Steph.
What was just going on with North Carolina A&T? Like last year, it was all on Twitter or something for some reason.
Jiho.
Yeah,
we have the greatest homecoming on earth.
Okay.
Like bar none, we have the greatest homecoming on earth.
Who?
Yo, you should come this year.
Yo,
I promise you.
Why is it?
Because all right, so there's.
But why am I just hearing about Jiho last year and I haven't heard about it?
Well, you didn't know that A&T was an HBCU and it's been open since 1891. So like, I don't expect you to know everything about North Carolina A&T. Yo, so all right, there's really only one other homecoming, maybe 2 other homecomings: Spelman and Morehouse homecoming, and Howard's homecoming that you can that you can put into the best black college homecoming. A&T's is better than both of those because it's not predicated on celebrity. It's genuinely built off of love. Anybody.
Oh, that's what happened. Sorry, speaking of celebrity, that's what happened. Somebody was supposed to perform, and then somebody said something about said performer. Then they got mad. K-Camp. Was that?
I didn't hear anything about that. I didn't hear anything about that.
You didn't?
Nah.
It was something like he was supposed to perform there, and I guess the population, whoever, it was probably just one person tweeting, and they said they weren't too enthused with K-Camp performing, and then he snapped back, and it was the whole thing. But yeah, that was in college for sure. But
I never heard about this, but I'm not really plugged into like what's going on the concert side until they let me host it.
But that's why they're the best homecoming.
Yeah, man.
It doesn't have to have celebrity to pop off.
It incorporates everybody. Like, you legit have a good time. Complete strangers are sharing alcohol together. It's just energy, man. It's in Greensboro, North Carolina. So to have 50,000 people go to Greensboro, North Carolina, you know niggas is going there to have a good time. People are always gonna go to DC. So Howard's homecoming, like, you're gonna get that foot traffic. Atlanta, same thing. Our shit, people are migrating to Greensboro, North Carolina, of all places, specifically for this one event.
That's crazy. So you went to school there. Did you graduate from there?
No, I dropped out. I dropped out my senior year. I moved to Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for 2 years.
No, why do people drop out of college in their senior year? What happened?
All right.
Tell me what happened.
So,
if you don't mind.
For sure. So I've never been a great student, right? Like, I'm surprised I got into college, if I can be fully transparent. I still don't know how. But I went. In my first year, I was very involved. Student Government Association, made the dean's list. And I had somebody very close to me die my sophomore year. And that kind of threw me off track a little bit. And from there, it was like a downward spiral. My parents stopped helping me out. And I was signing for loans. And at a point, like, my credit got bad. And they wouldn't let me sign for a loan. And so I was kind of just asked out, man. And I had to make a decision. I always knew I would work in entertainment.
Right.
And at that point, I had felt like my relationships that I made were strong enough where they would help me in the career that I was choosing ultimately. And so I was good. Like, I wasn't really...
So you decided to go down to Atlanta for what?
I said I was going to do music.
What were you about to rap?
Nah, I sing. My mom is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like music is in my.
Shout out to Cleveland, Ohio. Your mother's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
My mom's in a group in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
What's the group?
Shirelles. The Shirelles.
Your mom is not in the Shirelles. Come on, man. This man.
Dog.
You gonna lie to me right now?
What are you everyone knows. I thought everyone knows. You don't know that?
I thought you were Japanese.
Yo, this thing.
Yo, so your mom's. So there's a Japanese singer in the.
Yo, you wilding right now. Yo, respect my mother.
No.
Yo, respect my mom's. Respect.
No, she's in the Shirelles.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture right now.
That is crazy. So you were gonna.
So yeah, I said I was gonna do music. Like that's.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's how I started. So actually I got into college because I applied directly to the School of Arts of North Carolina A&T. So there's a backdoor entry into college sometimes, pause if necessary, where you can apply directly to a school, and if that school, not college, not university, but the school within, if they accept you, they'll talk to general admission, and general admission will say, all right, well, based on the recommendation from this particular school, we'll admit him.
Wild.
So I applied to the School of Arts, and I had to sing Donnell Jones, Where I Wanna Be. I had to record a demo. I sent it in, and they were like, oh, this nigga's nice. We need him here.
I'm going to be honest.
Yo,
you got to right now. You got to.
Sweet little dee-doo-dee-dee.
Yo, he's singing
this
right
is
now.
not, I got a little cold right now. I'm a little congested. It's been a while. Yo, but that was how I got into college.
Oh, you ain't finished? Hold on, wait.
I don't mean to hurt you. That's it. That's all you want to get right now. Because we pull side and side. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody to think I'm singing to you.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? I totally understand. So you were down there.
Yes, I
pursue music.
Yeah. Then I had friends down there. Shout out to all my Hit Squad brothers. Corey, Ant. They were throwing parties down there, and they were like, "Yo, come down, help us out." So I did that. One of my really close family members was down there, so I went. Then I got lost in the sauce. Had me doing goofy shit. Not them, but just myself, robbing, stealing, and not living righteously.
That could happen in the A.
Yeah. Then I got somebody pregnant, and then it was like time to pack it on up. Back it on up, get up on out of here. So I left, and I moved back to Jersey, and I got a job at Verizon selling Fios packages.
Yo, so your story is crazy with Verizon. I saw your post, and that's actually a great segue to what I wanted to talk to you about now. I saw your post about how you had the job at Verizon, and then not too long ago you were actually hosting an event.
Yeah,
Essence Fest at a Verizon event. So it's like it kind of went full circle from
man.
You working probably at a brick and mortar probably.
Yeah, in a call center, legit in a call center taking calls, and I did that for 2 years. We got laid off, but man, like when I got the offer from Verizon to be a Verizon brand ambassador for like 2 years, it was surreal to me. You know what I mean? Like I used to be a part of the workers union. I was a CWA union member, and then to go from that to interviewing like Maxwell behind stage on behalf of Verizon was just like my old coworkers were like, yo, this is crazy. And I was just like, yo, this is super wild. You never know where life's going to go.
Was that your first hosting gig? So if you guys don't know, my friend Rodney is an amazing host. He does a lot of things, but actually how we got familiar with each other was a few years ago, All-Star Weekend in Toronto. Yeah. There was a Nike event.
Don't say the second T, man. Toronto.
It's
Toronto. It's Toronto, man.
All right. Shout out to the sick. But I was actually, it was a Nike event. I was DJing, and he was hosting. It was Brian's
signature. We released his shoe, his All-Star shoe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I've been up on the perch, and I was watching you host. You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
So
man.
That was our first interaction with one another. So back to the question with Verizon, was that your first hosting?
Nah, man. So how I got into hosting, I used to own and operate and curate my own traveling artistic series called The Heart Gallery. And it was really dope. Like I would pay out of pocket for like Bilal to come, Bridget Kelly, Jesse Boykins III, people who's like Ari Lennox, people whose musical acumen I respected at the time. And this is like...
You started this when you went to Atlanta or when you came back?
I moved back home.
Okay.
So this is like 2009 was our first, 2008, 2009 was the first year that we did it. And we did it for 4 years, man. And it turned into a huge movement in New Jersey, DC, and New York.
Okay.
And so in addition to curating it, I hosted it as well. And then serendipitously, man, somebody came in one day and was like, yo, you're a dope host. I have a friend up at BET. They're looking for new hosts for 106 in Park.
Oh, wow.
And so like, the event was Sunday. They hit me on Monday. BET called me on Wednesday. I did some screen tests. I wound up hosting 106 in Park for like off and on for like a month and a half.
So you were part of that wave when it was like
the search.
The search. Like
no. That was Terrence. That was Terrence.
J.
No. I was after Terrence. So
okay.
The search is when Bow Wow. It was Shorty the Prince.
Shorty from Toronto.
No. He's St. Louis.
No, but there was shout out to
Keisha Shantae.
Keisha Shantae.
Yeah. So, but
shout out to Shorty the Prince. Now he's on with L'Oreal now.
That's
on Air
crazy.
Jordan now.
Which is crazy.
He got your dreads. He took your dreads.
He ain't still. That's a good person right there. Man. I got endless love for him.
So actually, Shorty the Prince, he was in Cleveland for a while. Yeah.
And Payson.
Yeah, both of them. Shout out to my family. We were on air with each other for a while, man. I'm happy to see both of them doing well. But so you were part of that search.
Yeah. So
after Terrence J.
So I hosted with all of them. I was a finalist, and they ended up choosing Bow Wow over me because he was Mr. 106 in Park.
Right.
And then so from there, I had a show on the CW network with Big Tigger. Then I had a show on Music Choice. Then I became the host of the Wizards, Nike, Jordan brand ambassador, all of those different things. The show on Revolt. I don't know. Sometimes I forget like the shit that I have done. And that's not arrogant. It's been a long journey.
How did the Wizards gig come about? Because for the longest, I thought you were from DC.
Yeah.
I thought you were from DC. Like, you give this DC aura, and I could kind of tell you went to a HBCU. I just didn't know, and I would figure it would have been like Howard.
Yeah, A&T is not known for having people that work in the entertainment industry. We're slowly but surely changing that with obviously Terrence J.
Right.
But I got the job with the Wizards because Tigger was the host of the Washington Wizards. Okay. And I had the show with so I had the show with him on the CW network, and when he left DC to go to Atlanta, the job opened up. So
he was the host and the DJ, or he was?
Yeah, so he did both.
Wow.
So he would be the guy on the court and stuff like that. And when he left, the job was open. They didn't fill it for that year. The next year, I had the relationship. I knew somebody who worked in there, and then they saw me on his show, and it was just like it's just synergy, man. Synergy and God's timing.
And you must have did a good job there, because I saw that they gave you like a jersey.
They had a retirement.
A retirement.
Yeah, they gave
ceremony.
me a retirement jersey.
So was that retirement when you were like, I'm out of here and I'm moving to LA?
Yeah, so my last season with the Wizards, I was actually living in LA. So I was flying cross country 2 and 3 times a week.
Speaking of flying cross country, this guy does something so ridiculous. Excuse me, sir. Can I get a picante?
Right now, give me a second. Let me call service.
Okay, thank you.
Fancy a picante.
Oh man, listen,
okay.
I ordered one an hour ago, and I didn't really want to even do that on the podcast, but I wanted it.
Okay.
But
mad sponsorship dollars given away right now. Plugging mad shit.
This guy flies from LA to New York for haircuts. Yo, just find a barber and
hold on.
Man.
Don't do that. Don't listen. It's twofold. Yes. This is the only monogamous relationship that I have mastered. All right, I do not cheat on my barber, but at the same time, my son lives in New York. I gotta go see my son at least once every 3 weeks. So it makes sense that I keep my barber, also see my son, and I'm knocking down mad birds with the one stone. That's it. I'm being efficient, bro. At the same time, not risking losing my hair.
I feel that.
Because at this age, one bad cut. That's it.
That's why I decided. I said, I'm just gonna grow mine out, man. I'm out here
smart.
rocking with the dope boy right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they say.
Are you getting dressed? Because you look.
I don't know what I'm doing with it.
Because you looking matted.
I know.
You need some juices and berries up in that. Better holla at your Senegalese people. Get the moisture.
Anyway, so your last year with the Wizards, you were traveling back and forth.
Yeah, so I was traveling back and forth to LA. It was aggressive, but it was a good time, man. I had to show the universe that I was willing. You good, man?
I can order drinks. Oh, him. Okay.
That's it.
I get a picante. Picante. Yeah. Thank you.
What's a picante, just for those who are broke?
Let's continue on with this, man.
So yeah, I was flying back and
forth for haircuts. Talking about
it wasn't haircuts. It was also to see my son. All right, I'm multitasking. Don't do that. Don't paint that picture of me. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I did that, and it was just time to transition out of DC. I felt like I hit a glass ceiling in New York. I had hosted everything that you could possibly host on the East Coast, and I felt like the walls were closing in around me. I needed new energy, so I packed it up, moved to LA, and that's when the new journey began.
So at that point, you decided hosting is what I want to do.
No, acting and writing is why I moved to LA. Okay. I always thought that the hosting thing would give me a platform to transition easier into acting. Okay. It never quite materialized like that. And to be in the game, you have to be around the game.
Right.
So, you know, like that's why I had to move to LA. And then other things just started coming into my lap. Pause. That sounds crazy.
No,
but, you know, but you know what I mean? Like, then I became the account manager for Hennessy. I got the TV show on Revolt. I have the new show with Juju Smith-Schuster. So I'm still doing the hosting thing, but at the same time, I'm taking acting classes. I have an agent for my acting. I'm submitting my writing. Like, it's a lot that people don't see that goes into the hustle that I get rejected a lot.
I love that about you, man. You do a lot of things, and people know you for a lot of different things. So with the Hennessy, did they reach out to you, or did you reach out to them? Did you see that there's a platform in that?
No, they reached out to me, man. So I was up for the job in DC like 2-3 years before I got the job. I didn't get it. And then when I moved to LA, the position was open. They reached out to me and said, hey, we saw you transition to LA. We think you still be good for the role. You know, what do you think about it? And yeah, that's a hard job to pass up, man, because it just gives you keys to the city.
Nice.
Like, it opens up doors, bro.
Shout out to Avion Tequila.
Yeah, I mean whoever you work with, listen, we have good partnerships with brands. It doesn't mean that we can't be friends and support each other in what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, someday these brands will get rid of us, but these friendships will remain.
Right. And it's so crazy because I talk about the opportunities that are with these brands for us to do events, for us to curate events, and for us to just make dope stuff happen, especially like for one another. One of the things that you've been talking about recently is building and, you know, uplifting and doing dope stuff with your friends and quote unquote family, as opposed to just any random person that wants you to just, yo, can I have some money for my event? I think that's amazing. So what kind of freedom do you have with Hennessy and your events?
Man, I have a lot of I can operate with a lot of discretion. I have there's a word I'm looking for. I can't even think of it right now. But I'm good, man. They allow me to pick and choose the events that I want to be a part of. I realized in my first year working for Hennessy that a lot of the things that I was doing were very transactional. And once an event was over, I didn't hear from these people again.
Right.
And then at the same time, you leave yourself vulnerable to craziness when you can't account for someone's mental stability. So I would do things. I would do an event. Somebody would start spazzing out, and it would make me look crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm representing the brand, and I don't know this person.
And you're like, I don't really even know this person.
Yeah, I don't. Like, so why am I leaving myself vulnerable, and my job, how I feed myself and my son, vulnerable to somebody else's craziness?
Right.
Like, that's nuts. So let me insulate myself, only move and operate with people who I trust, have an affinity for, or who come with a strong recommendation.
Right.
And that way, it's like dating. I date through recommendations. I don't like meeting complete strangers and like building. I need to know that we have a mutual friend who can say, nah, let me speak to this part of this person's character. Like, they're not a nut.
Let me ask you about that. Side note, how do you feel about that? Because, you know, growing up, you know, guys dating women or whatever, you're like, you always have to be like, yo, should I ask somebody about her, or I don't want to know?
Nah, give me the tea.
I think it's always important to ask
Give me the
somebody.
tea.
Like,
give me the tea. Let me know what's up. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's called doing your due diligence. Like, you know, I
say put it in the other person's hands to what information they want. To give you.
And here's the difference. I feel like when men do it, we're still able to interact with the woman and not like completely categorize her, unless somebody was like, yo, she done smashed him, and he got like legit whole facts that says it's crazy, like her rap sheet is crazy. But women, a lot of times, they hear things about men and they take it to heart, and they don't allow a man the space to like prove that he is or is not what other people have said he is. Because a lot of times it's like, I had a bad interaction with her. You're not her, so why are you judging me based on my interaction with her? That doesn't make any sense, yo.
Makes a lot of sense. What you're saying makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, bro, I hate that shit.
Speaking to those events, what you just did with Dallas was
Martin.
amazing.
Yo, A&R the decade right there, man.
A tribute to, so you're doing these dinners where you tribute your friends, host dinners, and basically, you know, shine light on them for their amazing accomplishments in whatever field that they're doing. Dallas is been doing it for years. Amazing A&R, Meek Mill,
Nipsey
Hussle, Wale, like everybody, and it was
YB and Corday.
Right.
Like,
it's great that you were able to give him his flowers, you know, while he's still here with us and with the platform like that. Now, that was an amazing event. What has been your most memorable event that you've curated thus far?
I did an event, I can tell you off rip. I did an event with,
you were waiting for that.
Yo, Gladys Knight, bro. I did Gladys Knight's 75th birthday party last year.
Did that have something to do with your mother?
My mom came, my mom performed. So like
now it makes sense.
See?
She's part of the charade.
See? Yeah, so and that was like a dinner and a jam session. So we had a live band. We had Gladys Knight performing. I can't even remember who. Like it was like one
How
of those.
How did that come about? Like somebody was just
relationships.
like Gladys Knight said she wanted to get it on for her 35th.
No, so you build relationships with people. People hear about what you're doing. They want to figure out again how to have the brand incorporated. So I met this guy named Rafi. We struck up a kindredship, and one day he was like, "Yo, I'm about to do Gladys Knight's 75th birthday party. Do you think the brand would want to get involved?" And I was like, I don't know if the brand does, but I do.
To, right?
Like
so,
that's a fucking icon, bro. Right. Like, and if you have the opportunity to as we can see with Kobe's recent passing, like if we have the chance to recognize a legend, bro, in real time while they're still here breathing, and we as fans of them can give them our love, our respect, in a moment that they can say like they were celebrated by us, why would we not do that?
That is very true. So that was her birthday. So where was it? Was it New York or was it LA?
No, it was in LA. It was in LA at this jazz club called Vibrato. Super low-key spot nobody knows about, but fire.
Nice.
Jazz club, like just some upscale adult shit that like if you go to on like a second or third date, not a first date.
Right.
Second or third date, you definitely.
Why not a first date? Why not just throw it all in? No, sometimes
See?
But
you set the bar.
But guess
I am
what?
done setting the bar high.
Listen,
See?
but look, the thing is, sometimes you got to set the bar high.
No, then you're obligated.
Yo, so I always want to set realistic expectations.
You got to set the bar high off top, or
I used to.
you used to? No,
No, it doesn't make sense, bro. The financial commitment out the gate is dumb. And
you go to Prime 112 on a first date, she's going to Prime 112
all the time.
But
no way, bro.
This is how I feel. If I like Prime 112, I'm going to eat there anyway. I might as well. If you want to come eat, you could come with me. That's why I'm going to go anyway.
Nah, man. No, I'm not doing that.
But
you will do that.
Yes, I'm saying I'm going to go eat there anyway.
So
y'all don't get me in trouble.
So
on this podcast.
why you doubling your bill?
No, I'm
you're
obligated
good.
to double my bill anyway.
Okay,
At this point
say
in my
less.
life.
Say less. Say a lot less. I get it. I'm just saying, man. Like when you said it, I can't sustain that. It's like I don't want to talk on the phone all
I got
day.
my Picanti, by the way.
So out the rip, I'm not gonna start calling you every day. It doesn't. I cannot sustain that level of consistency on the phone, bro. So I'm gonna let you know off rip. Hey, listen, we can talk on the phone once every 2 or 3 days. I'm not a phone boner.
By the way, this has gone from Gladys Knight's birthday party back to his relationship.
It transitions. It transitions so far.
We're great.
Are you guys using the canopy right now? Or
Are we using the canopy? Do you need it?
It's kind of cool.
Can we wait for a second because we're doing something? All right, thank you
Thanks,
so much.
man. He looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, he definitely looks just like Shaggy.
guy in the blue shirt, guy in the blue shirt.
He definitely looks just like Shaggy.
You said it, not me.
So her birthday party, you set that up with your mom, or was it mom?
No. I was doing it. I was doing the event, and obviously my mom is a musician, and so I wanted her to be a part of the experience, just to see what I do for a living.
Oh, no.
And then I spoke to the band, and I was like, "Hey guys, I know it's a jam session, and my mom actually knew the drummer. He was her like musical director for this show that she has out in Vegas called It's a Man's World But." And so like she was like, "Yo, Shirley wants to sing, like for sure, come on up here," and she jammed out, man. It was a dope experience.
That's amazing, man. So why do you think it's so important to celebrate your friends?
Again, like
Friends and family, friends/family.
Sometimes we don't really. Sometimes we forget just how amazing the people that we're so close to are.
Right.
Like just having a relationship
Right.
with Bron, you know his greatness every day because it's talked about on national television and national media day in and day out.
Right.
But some of our friends who are lesser known but who are also great in their own right, they never get recognition. Right, and they're waiting for someone to recognize them. Not gonna ask us for it, because they're our genuine friends and they don't want to seem corny. So it's our job to champion our friends, our circle. Like we champion so much bullshit, and I'm tired of it, bro. Like I want to make sure that my friends win, because if my friends win, I win ultimately. There might be a day where I become like less financially stable,
right?
And I might have to rely on a friend.
Right.
So why am I not championing them so that they can be in a position down the line to help themselves out and also potentially me and my family? Like that's goofy.
That's crazy. Yo, speaking of friends, I'm like, we're all on Twitter and everything. It's a lot of stuff, man, that I see with a lot of people's different relationships that I had no idea. You were one day, I got draped off in a black hole of you and I forget, maybe it was Corey Towns or somebody else, but everybody, it was like 3 or 4 of y'all talking about how each of y'all used to spend a night on each other's couches, or when I was...
Kaz.
Yeah.
Bro, like, yeah, like shit like that. Like this, I'm not the guy. I don't roll with a pack.
Right.
I'm always like a lone wolf. Like anytime people see me, I'm pretty much solo.
By the way, shout out to Kaz. He's like super
man. That's my guy.
WWE.
Yeah, he's in Miami right now. I just
Yeah.
saw. Yeah, he just landed. He's hosting something for. Well, we want no more sponsorship shout outs. We're not gonna do that.
But he's doing an
He's
amazing
working.
job
He's
with the
working.
wrestling community, man. Like it's crazy.
It's amazing. Wrestling and sports. Kaz is gonna be. He's gonna be. He already is a star, but he'll start to be.
Knicks are
paid.
trash, but he does a good job at everything.
Yeah. He's gonna become a wealthy man just because his spirit is so bright. But there have been times like me and Low Key, for instance, like super broke, starting out around the same time, hosting, coming out to LA, had no money in our pockets, but like we're making sure that each other had food at the very least.
Right.
Kaz used to come out to LA when I first moved, and his situation wasn't super solid like it is right now. Yo, bro, stay on the couch.
Right.
Like shit like that, man. Like there's so many stories that we have amongst the circle that the world doesn't know, that probably like in 20 years, 30 years, you know, when we're having our own like Rock Nation brunch, it'll be something different. It'll be called something different then. But like we'll have these stories to tell. And these are true relationships that are formed and forged through trying times, not just because we all are popping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love having that connection with those brothers and sisters.
By the way, you just definitely did the D Wade Kobe Bryant. I love it.
I love it.
I love it. So basically, you're the Hennessy guy.
Oh, I'll fuck you up. Off rip. Hey, off rip.
Yo, how much did you hate that?
It's so reductive, man.
Oh
It's so
my
reductive.
God.
Like I've done all of this shit, man. I've had TV shows on all kinds of networks. I host Broccoli City Festival. It's the largest.
So explain that to me, because when that first started, I really wasn't too familiar with it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a.
It's ballooned.
Like, so what exactly, and why Broccoli City? Is that a nickname for DC or?
No. So Broccoli City is a collection of young black men who went to HBCUs. Some of which
You guys get married?
Went to A&T.
Oh.
Yeah, Steph is mad random. So.
Well, it is Miami.
It is
They were
Miami.
going to the beach. They had cleaners' clothes.
This guy here. So, Dan, what you asked me?
Hey,
What you?
Hennessy Guy. No, it wasn't. It was. What did I ask you?
What you asked me, son? See? He needs some old. He needs some ginkgo biloba.
Hennessy Guy. What did I? That is crazy.
That's crazy, son. See, you over here blurring shit out. I was ready to go too.
I know you're doing a great job.
It was like an important question too.
It was
like an interview defining question.
Damn, hold on. What was it? Was a Hennessy Guy and hosting. Yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember, son.
I might have to rewind and see, and then punch this in. No, hold on, guys. We gotta figure. Let's think. Hold on. You were on the road, and I just had to mess it up by asking the guys about
What the fuck did you just ask me? That's sad, yo.
Hennessy. I said you're Hennessy. You don't like. We called the Hennessy Guy. And
Yeah, that was it.
No, but there was something else after that.
No, but that was it. That was the essence, and I was about to touch on that.
Oh, okay.
So it's super reductive when people.
See, we got it back.
When people compartmentalize you based on where they met you at,
Right.
and try to erase your whole history of what you've done.
People
Like,
call me DJ. Like, just DJ.
Just
I'm like, yo,
DJ.
my name is Steph. Man.
Yo,
Like,
when I was-
people be like, yo, DJ. Yo, don't do that.
You work in an arena, right?
Yeah.
So like people be like, yo, hype man. Yo, don't fucking
Yo.
call me no hype man, bro. I'll smack the shit out you, boy. I'm not that. And what's also fucked up is people see us always smiling,
Right,
and
so
they don't
they
forget
think-
we got history.
Yeah,
like
yo,
we
they-
not.
they
It's
think
not
it's
soft.
sweet.
It's
Yeah,
not
they think
soft
it's
out
sweet.
here
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you see me in this role. Please don't think that. So
I gotta ham it up for the Jumbotron guys.
yo, like that's it, man.
That's part of my job.
One time somebody pulled I had a T-shirt I was giving away in my pocket.
Yeah.
Somebody reached in my pocket
Oh,
and
don't
took
do
the
that.
T-shirt.
Oh, don't do that.
I yoked this man up so quick. Security had to come and like get. I was like, bro, like what the fuck is your problem, bro? But I fight against that so adamantly because I just feel like I'm so much more than that, and I
Right.
never want to be reduced, man. I bust my ass to get where I'm at. My history is very important to me.
Right.
I know where I ultimately want to become. I'm not going to allow you to reduce me to what you think it is that I do.
Right.
I'm never going to allow that to be the case.
You know what it is? Also, on the flip side of that, what I've got more comfortable with, and it probably comes with success, it probably comes with money, it probably comes with notoriety.
Oh, you rich.
But no. No, but I'm saying, like, I used to
Lady
be
has big
kind of,
jugs.
like, come on, man. Jesus.
We had Soho. She had the biggins.
But yo, I used to be kind of like, I'll say it, like I've never really talked about it, but like, not embarrassed, but people would be like, I'll be in like wild environments with upper echelon of people, and this, and they're like, oh, what do you do? And you know, there was a time where me saying like I DJ was kind of like I would like more or less whisper it.
I see somebody right now who has me blocked. Hey Chase,
you got him blocked?
let's talk about it.
Hold on.
Yes.
Yo, she has you blocked?
I went to go text her the other day.
Hold on, let me finish this point before she comes over. Yeah, but now I'm very comfortable when people are like, yo, what do you do? I DJ.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
And and I'm able to, you know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But see, I have a problem because my brand is a little bit scattered.
Yeah, no, but that's different than that.
Yeah.
They'll call you the Hennessy guy, but like
Yeah,
I
that's the
don't.
Hennessy
I'm
guy.
just saying that I used to be like a little keep it inside, but now it's like that's what I do, and it is what it is. Yes,
We are
but
podcasting.
what's
Let's
your
talk
name,
about
Chase.
Oh, actually,
No, you are.
We need to. Let's not say
She
her
said-
name.
Uh-huh. All right, well,
You're supposed to be my friend. Can I ask why you blocked me
you have him blocked?
on text?
Oh, I thought it was on social media.
No, I went to text you the other day. I wanted to say hey and check up on you.
Well, maybe she didn't pay her phone bill. Maybe you're putting a woman in a. Maybe her phone is
Hold
off.
on. Let's find out
Okay,
right now. Real time. Oh no, I'm not blocked.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Why
not
did you
blocked.
think
I
you-
take it all back. Well, she's my neighbor. She's the homie. Chase is amazing.
You're from LA?
No, she's from New York by way of LA.
Okay.
Uh,
So you went the opposite way he did. You went.
She lives in LA.
Oh, so New York by way of, okay.
Yeah. But Chase, she's super amazing. I thought you blocked me, bro. My feelings were hurt. I was like, she's supposed to be my friend.
Yo, he saw you.
You never responded to my last text, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He didn't respond to your last text.
Exactly. So.
Why did you not respond to her last text?
During Grammy week when it's super busy,
Oh, you-
sometimes.
You were trying to get into the event. Is that what you were
No,
doing?
she's not that girl.
No, I'm
she's
just, by the way, I'm just playing. I'm Steph, by the way. Not a player.
But I never texted you during Grammy Week.
Okay. We'll discuss. We'll
discuss
discuss
that
when there aren't
afterward.
microphones.
But
Yeah.
So let me finish talking to the Hennessy guy over here.
Hey son.
So as
All
far
right,
as
Avion, man.
Future hosting, Future writing.
I thought you were saying I look like Future. I was about to
No,
say.
I'm not saying. Jesus Christ, man.
People say that. I thought it was.
Nobody ever told you you look like Future.
I swear to God on my life, that is a constant reference that people say that I
Future
resemble.
does not look Japanese.
Yeah, that's so racist. bro. That's so racist. He always wears shades. When he takes them off, his eyes are a little squinted. He might be high,
Yo, there's
but they are a little close.
He's my man over there said, "Yo, what's your guys' names?" I'm Steph.
Robbie.
Robbie?
David.
Rodney,
pleasure.
David.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Are you from London?
No, here.
But your main house just happens to be London. That's
He's
like
over there doing work.
ultra cool.
Can I ask you about European culture? Do you find Europeans to be more sexually liberated than Americans?
It's ridiculous.
1,000%.
Yes, 1,000%. It's not even close.
I knew you. I should have said yes before you finished.
It's not even close.
Everybody except here are way more open.
It's crazy.
Amazing.
Right now, if this was in,
Australian shit.
if this was,
Australia is a gold
if
mine,
this was
low-key.
Europe, everybody would be topless.
Well, listen, on the beach it is.
Yeah, but it's
Beach here is different.
Yeah, beach here is different.
Okay.
But I'm just in general, like, just communicating and engaging.
Right.
No, you can make yourself at home. It's fine.
All of it.
Yeah, people are very guarded here.
And they're like, fuck it, let's have fun.
Yeah, man. It's like that in Toronto too.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's some great international cities.
Shout out to Toronto. We'll talk about Toronto off of it. Yo,
The-
can we get back to
The
this?
pretentiousness that exists in America sometimes is frustrating.
Go to Toronto. We haven't done Toronto together.
We have not done Toronto together.
Trust me.
I mean, you know, I'm sure we can't do it the way we would have done it in a different point in our lives. But I do have to go to Toronto.
Well, we'll make sure you have a good time in Toronto.
Yeah.
So, hosting, future, acting, writing. What's next? What do you want to do?
So I just got a brand new show with Juju Smith-Schuster that's on a digital platform called Caffeine.
And it's a
Gamer show.
Gaming show.
So Juju invites his celebrity friends on. They play video games. You know, we draw parallels between whatever field that they're in and football or the video game world.
Give me an example. Give us an example.
So we had this guy called FaZe Adapt, who's a part of FaZe Clan, super popular YouTuber gamer, and I was drawing parallels between how close him and the FaZe Clan are to how close Juju and his Pittsburgh Steelers teammates are.
Okay.
So we talked about that. They all met online, building and forging friendships through the internet, right? So like how different is
Like
that?
most of us.
Right. So
Right.
exactly, but different for them because they actually have a business together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just different. Like
Crazy.
they utilize each other in the way that we will start to utilize each other going forward.
Right.
In the way that
they
we
probably do mad like Skype calls, YouTube videos.
Yo,
like
they live in a house. They all live in a house together.
Wow.
They live in a big ass mansion in Toluca Lake. So it's that. So I was like, yo, who do you think is closer, you and your FaZe clan, because you guys live together, or the Pittsburgh Steelers who are in the locker room taking showers butt ass naked together? Like what? Like how do you? I know
going to war.
Going to war.
Kill to be killed every day. So what was the consensus?
That is pretty parallel in a lot of ways. Like they get to see, once the cameras shut off and once the media isn't there, like, it's just you and your guys. And
right.
so like, it's friendship. However it's forged, but once it's solidified, like we are all friends the same way. We laugh, we joke, we make inappropriate jokes, we fucking talk about women, we talk about the things that we're passionate about. So that's football, that's gaming, that's sports, whatever it is. Like there's just camaraderie all around.
So with your new show, a story that I really loved is that your son, he found out you were hosting the show and he got like super excited, not because you met LeBron, not because you met Gladys Knight, not because you
Kyrie, KD, Kobe,
none of that. He got excited because you were hosting a gaming show and you were able to be around some guy named
FaZe Adapt.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, FaZe, like he's like Michael Jordan to my son. So like I FaceTimed my son when I was with Adapt, and he like freaked out. Kid got super.
Oh, so the crew is called FaZe and his name is Adapt.
Yeah, it's FaZe Clan and his name is Adapt.
So everybody has FaZe at the beginning of the name.
Right.
All
Yeah. So I mean, my son, he was just ecstatic. He's like, Dad, I can't believe you're around somebody so famous, and it's brought us. It's got us closer, man.
Right.
Because now, so there's kind of a moral dilemma because gaming is so lucrative now.
Right.
Like on one hand, it's a legitimate career option. It's
It
a
is.
viable career option for children.
It's a sport.
But you want kids to like be fucking
outside.
kids, go outside, bro.
Yeah.
Like get some fresh air. But what if he's like a savant?
Yeah, right. No. Like what's the
What's
guy?
his phenom?
What's the
The guy who he had a shoe deal and everything.
they build and then they shoot and
Fortnite.
Fortnite. What's his name? He was playing Drake like up late one
I
night.
forget his name.
watched
He
3 hours.
was on the ESPN ticker when he switched from Twitch to a competitor. Like that
Oh,
guy
he
is
did?
that. Yeah, like these guys are making $3 million
his name.
for one tournament. I forget his name too. That's sad. But he has a shoe deal now. I think with Adidas. Like
That's crazy.
it's a whole different universe. They're selling out arenas where people are watching people play video games.
That's amazing, and I love that your son got that excited. Also,
She
love
is super bad.
very pretty woman.
No cheeks though. No buns.
I'm trying to segue this into fatherhood and your son. You're talking.
That's
about
how he got
dad.
here.
Yeah.
That's how he got here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
It only works here too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Nowhere else.
no, it doesn't.
You see that in LA, they'd be like, what the fuck you wearing?
Gotta love it. Gotta love Miami.
Love my guys over here. So no, you're fine. So because of that your relationship with your son, you said it's gotten stronger because of the gaming. I love
Yeah.
that, but I love how I always see you talk about your son. I love how you say you have to go to New York every 3.
Hi. Yo, it's very distracting out here. I just want to throw it out there.
Every 3 weeks.
Yes.
So how important is fatherhood to you now,
Man.
as opposed to maybe it hasn't always been as important? I mean, not saying that it wasn't important, but like right now,
It's different, man.
Why is it?
I had my
how
son.
is it that important?
I had my son very young.
Right.
I had my son when I was 22 years old, and I wasn't worth a damn myself. I had to grow up very quickly. My son
By the way,
changed my life.
I ordered the drink
Look
2
at
hours
Steph.
ago. No, I just got it because I asked
Steph
someone
is
else.
complaining. I'm having a very deep conversation.
It was a paparazzi.
Yeah, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you gotta go. Like, oh, 50 Cent is over there.
Are you 50
You're
Cent?
lying.
Yo,
lying.
they thought Steph was
Yo,
50
you're lying.
Please, that is hilarious. Yo, they thought Steph Floss was 50 Cent, and he was getting paparazzi pictures
And that's
taken
why I
of
didn't
him.
get my drink.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Smile.
Yo, that's mad funny. That's not. That is amazing.
Yo, that is crazy. And they put
Yo, you got to do live podcasts from here
No, I
on
know.
out at all the soul houses around the world. This is super
yo,
lit.
that, I know. No, you gotta see me with my shirt off. I got the muscles. I got them.
Steph is now offering to show his body to other men.
No, I don't do that. Don't do that. Pause.
It's turned left. Things have gone crazy over here.
Pause. But no, but
Fatherhood, nigga. Yeah, so like my son changed me, man, because I was a knucklehead in Atlanta. I had to get a real job with a 401k to provide for my son, and at the same time I was a dreamer. So the toughest thing I say about being a parent and being a parent so young is managing 2 sets of dreams. I had to figure out how to prioritize his and mine simultaneously. And it's hard enough making one set of dreams come true. So for me, man, like in the last 3 years since I moved to LA, I'm further from my son distance-wise, but we're as close as ever because now he's able to understand who his father is,
and he's gotten older,
and my passion and the thing that drives me.
Right.
And I provide now with what I do for a living, and he can see it. It's tangible. He pulls up my YouTube channel and shows his friends. He pulls up my social media, shows his friends. Like my dad's like, he understands that I'm not there because I'm providing for him in a way that I couldn't do when I was in New York. And so eventually he'll move out to LA, probably like 8th grade. But fatherhood is amazing, man. It's a beautiful experience. Try it sometimes. And balls ain't gonna do nothing but shrivel up, man.
I mean, how you know I ain't working on it right now? Shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All
right,
it was
fellas.
a pleasure meeting you guys, man.
Likewise, Robbie.
Yeah, we'll be staying here.
No. We're I'm in Brickell. I'm staying in Brickell. Yeah, man. What you guys got going on this week?
Are you down here for the Super Bowl?
We live here.
Oh, you live here?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Well, shit, man.
So we'll be here every day.
Okay.
Every day.
Every day.
Bright and early.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Cool.
And where can we hear your
Saturday.
Oh, actually, let me get. Are you guys on social?
on Twitter?
Yeah. All right. Let me give you.
Steph, aka 50 Cent.
Talk to the people while I give them the information. Just
Yeah,
talk
so
about
we're gonna
anything.
talk about Steph's feet right now. Yo, Steph has terrible feet.
No, I got amazing. I just need a pedicure.
All right, man.
I do need a.
Yo, I think it's amazing that the relationships people have been able to forge, like as everyone continues to ascend in their career, man. Like as someone who's a fan of people who are doing good work, just seeing Steph and Meal and that whole tribe and community like continue to ascend, I think is so fire. Whether it's Low Key, whether it's Kaz, like Cam from Duce Palooza, Rory now being on the Joe Budden podcast, man. Like I'm just so happy to see people that started out are still going. Blogzilla, Gia Peppers, Scotty Beam. There's so many people who are doing dope shit, man. Tracy G. Just good winning.
So I heard you in the back, and I was talking about the Joe Budden podcast. So a funny story about Joe Budden podcast.
I was once on Joe's podcast.
You was?
Yeah.
All right. So look, it was so Maul. I had never met Maul. Like I didn't know who Maul was, right?
Yeah.
And I had listened to the podcast, but I never, I don't think I had seen an episode at the time. So I was in New York for I think Fashion Week, and I ended up with shout out to my guy Vaughn. I ended up with
Vaughn Smith?
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah. So I ended up with
Good
Vaughn.
brothers.
I ended up with Vaughn. Yeah. I ended up with Vaughn at an event. He was like, "Yo, Steph, meet me here." It was me, Vaughn.
Danny? Was Danny there?
Danny Victor, yeah, but it was me, Vaughn.
I went to high school with Danny Victor as
you
well.
did?
Yeah.
Jersey.
Yeah,
yeah.
Danny been rich for a long time.
Yeah, he has it. Yeah. Danny. But I ended up going to a party with them, and Maul was with us. And we were at, I forgot what spot we were at. I think Lavo or something. And something happened at the club where the security, like we were in a section, but the security was being like
extra
as usual. And Maul was like, "Yo, like he got into it with security, like, yo, I'm about to, Then he was like,
Tee
yo,
off.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? Let's all just leave before, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm about to go crazy on dude. So we all left. We went outside. It was one of those, all right, pleasure meeting y'all, boom, boom, boom. And then I think me and Danny or me and Vaughn ended up going somewhere else. But we had kicked it with Maul. I was like, I'm like, the dude was cool. I'm like, he was cool. Yeah. And I like that he was, you know what I'm saying? It's about that action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I go back home. I finally watched an episode of
Joe Budden Pod.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hold on, that's
dope.
homie from the.
Yeah, he's super
so
cool.
So he'd
man.
be outside.
Yeah, I met him one time at Beauty and Essex. And I walked up to him on some like, yo, man, I'm a huge fan of the podcast or whatever. And I said, dude was like, you know what I'm saying? People be weird.
Right.
He was like, yo, I appreciate that, fam, dap and all of that. Like, I wasn't gonna be like, yo, I know so-and-so and so-and-so. But just that interaction alone let me know that he's super solid, man. Like, I fuck with that kind of energy.
That's love, man. And this is love, by the way. I appreciate you. So,
yeah, bro.
We were actually supposed to, and we don't have to delve on this, but we were actually supposed, I wanted to, so Sunday, I wake up, East Coast time, it's like, I can look at the message right now. I'll give you the exact time. I don't want people to think I'm lying. And it was weird because I felt bad, but then I think you understood, and I think you were like,
yeah, I was checked out.
I text you at, I hit you at, I said I'm going to call you for my podcast today, Sunday at 1:59 p.m., which would have been 2 o'clock p.m., which would have been on the West Coast, what, 11? Yeah, 11 a.m. I mean
10.
10.
Because we got the news. We got the news around 11:20 or something like that.
So I messaged him like, yo, you know, I'm going to call you today for the podcast. And he didn't respond. He usually responds. So I was like, all right, well, maybe he's busy. So you know what I'm saying, I'll just wait for him to respond. And then 30 minutes later, I got the Kobe news.
Yeah.
And we all got the Kobe news. Yeah. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. And I, you know what I'm saying, after the mourning and the crying and all of that, and I was like, I saw you start telling your story about the basketball and how.
Just a crazy day, man.
Tell that story.
Yeah, so I was going to hoop Sunday morning, and the run started at 11. Crazy. There's a lot of action going on over here, guys. You can't see it right now, but trust me, it is official. So I was going to hoop. I get to where I'm parking. I park the car. I get out, pay the meter, go back to put the receipt on my dashboard, and this dude who I thought was homeless is like, hey, man, you want this book? And I'm like, you know, it's LA, it's downtown LA. I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. So he's like, you want this book? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, this book, I just finished reading it this morning. Do you want it? And he holds it out, and it's the Kobe Bryant Mamba Mentality book. It's a huge book. So I'm like, oh, shit, fam, thank you. I appreciate it. Take the book.
What time is it, Sunday?
This is like 10:57, like on the nose.
You bringing
like
another
10:57.
one?
You got two of them?
Oh, thank you so much.
Man, thank you. Appreciate you. She said bye 50 cent. So yeah, man, like we go into the gym to hoop. We're literally about to check up for the first game, and niggas on the sideline start screaming like, yo. Everybody turn like, yo, what's up? Like, yo, Kobe died. Everybody takes their phones out, see the TMZ report. We all literally just sit down, crushed.
There's no way. I'm like, there's no way this happened.
Crushed, bro.
And I can only imagine how I felt in LA.
Bro, and like we were playing on a court, a Lakers branded court. It was just like, it's just super wild, man. And obviously unfortunate, obviously devastating news. You don't think that someone like Kobe is gonna ever die, and certainly not like that.
Right.
I cry like a baby, man.
I just stopped crying maybe today. Today's might have been the first day I haven't cried about the situation. And it's so wild because I never really knew how much I really liked him.
Yeah.
And I say that for me because
sad.
we're from East. We're from Cleveland, and we have LeBron.
Right.
So we've been championing LeBron all of our lives. And you know, for some of us, he's a brother, he's a friend, and you know, family. But outside of that, in the area, it's been LeBron.
Sure.
But there are a lot of people who there are a lot of people who are, if you're like older than 30 or something, like if you're like over to 30, there was a transition that was made for a lot of people. It was Michael Jordan, and then when Mike retired, you had to kind of figure out where you were going. Some people went Kobe.
Yeah.
Some people went Iverson.
We went AI.
Some people went
Vince.
T-Mac.
T-Mac.
Some people went Vince. You know what I'm saying? But then we had, you know, when Bron came, it's like, regardless of who we're rocking with,
yeah, that's our guy.
Yeah. So, like, I didn't really understand how much I really appreciated him until the last couple years. And I think
in retirement.
Yeah. But it was a couple years before the retirement, he became more transparent with his life. Before then,
way more vocal. Yeah.
His interviews were like, he was more like cursing in interviews or saying whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Old nigga shit.
Yeah. And I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
I was like, I love it. And those past couple years before he retired, I was like, yo, Kobe, like, I really like this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it was a Showtime special that he did where he opened himself up to the world and let people know why he was, how he was. And basically the show was like, yo, he had his friend was basketball.
Right, because he moved around a lot.
Yeah, and he's like, that was my only friend, so that's why I take it so seriously. So that's why I'm like this about basketball. That's why I'm like this about being in the gym. And that's who I am. And I was like, yo, now I understand.
Bro, a level of focus that should be broken down and studied someday by a PhD. Like his level of focus and anything that he wanted to do, whether it was, you know, the film and short films and the Mamba Academy, like seeing that vision all the way through. Like the guy was, it doesn't even sound right to say past tense with Kobe, But just an amazing life, man, and a laser focus. Someone who we can't emulate.
Right.
It's impossible to be Kobe Bryant.
Right.
Like I'm set in my ways.
Right,
like
right,
I'm
right,
fucking.
right.
I'm in my 30s. Like I'm not gonna be the Mamba mentality.
Right.
All the way through. But if I can have like a fraction of the focus and discipline that man had and displayed, I will get so much further in life.
Yeah.
Just a fraction, man.
It was amazing watching his journey, and then 2016 when he retired, his some of you guys may follow me on IG or Twitter and all of that. You've seen his story, but I remember I hit up Jim Ice. Shout out to Ice.
Ice, the legend.
So Kobe was making his farewell tour, and I was like, yo, he was giving his jersey to different people in different cities. I think I might have jumped out there to Ice like, you think, I said, he's probably going to give it to LeBron, right? Or the shoes. I'm like, I need something, man. So we laughed about it. And then I said, you know what? As opposed to me getting something from him, let me give him something.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, our pregame playlist, all the music we play pregame, I'm going to do it, for him. So I looked up all of his favorite songs ever, and it just happened to be a bunch of West Coast songs. So I played.
Word.
Yeah.
How do you even find that? Like there's a Kobe Bryant playlist.
It's
on
a couple
Spotify?
things though. So Google is one thing, and then another thing is shout out to my good friends over at Nike. They
friends of the program.
Yeah, friends of the program. No pun intended. They know him well, and they gave me some, heads up. And then I was like, yo, he rapped, and he was on features, so I'm gonna play.
You didn't play the Kobe Bryant verses?
I did.
That's so dope.
So I remember
so
playing
dope.
one of his songs, and he was on the court, and I think he heard the West Coast songs already, but then when he heard his song, he knew what it was, and you could see him get excited. And I think Ice might have sent me a video like, "Yo, Kobe knows."
Let me tear up. Son. That's so amazing.
And he was like on the court, blah, blah, blah. And then so after that, I went after the pregame. I was like, I see he's hyped, but he doesn't know, and I've met him before, but I've met him in environments where I know he's not gonna remember me. You know what I'm saying? Two Kings dinners, and you know what I'm saying, and so I went down there like I think around halftime, and he just happened to be shooting around, and I'm like, yo, Cole, and he turned around, came and walked up to me, and I was like, yo, that was me, DJ. Yeah. He was like, oh man, he was like, yo, that was so much love, man. Thank you, boom, boom, boom.
That's fire,
so
man.
after the game, I got a bunch of people messaging me like, yo, Kobe just shouted you out on TV. I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
And they showed me the link, and he was doing his press conference, and they were asking him about the love in Cleveland, and he was like, yo, I just love playing here, man. It's always so much love here. He was like, even today with like the DJ playing like all West Coast music for me and all of this. And my mom was at that game, and my mom don't come to many games, but she wanted to meet Kobe. And I'm like, I could probably make this happen because I'm going to be, in the tunnel anyway. You know what I'm saying? Afterwards, so I'm like, I'll make this happen. So I have my mom. After that, I have my mom in the tunnel, and Kobe's walking by, and he's with his security, and as he's walking by, I'm standing right there, and I didn't even know. Shout out to Brandon, my homie Brandon, Clutch. Shout out to Clutch Sports. He was videotaping this whole thing. I had no idea. Kobe's walking by, and we like, lock eyes, and he looks like, yo, and I'm like, yo, man, thank you for the shout out. And he did this, did you see the video on my IG?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, he did, this appreciative look, and then he kept walking, then he like stopped and looked back again like, yo, thank you. Like, then he looked back again, and the last look back, I don't know if, you could tell, but I say like, Cole, and then I'm like pointing at my mother, like, nobody could see that, but I'm like pointing at, like, my mom wants to meet you, like, I'll be back there. And he was like, cool. We went back there, he met my mom, talked to her, took a picture with her. Yo, and my mom, my mom is so crazy. Love my mom. Mom, I love you, but she's crazy. She complained this past holiday, my father was in town. You always taking your father to games. You don't never take me to games. I'm like, yo, I took you to
met
Kobe
Cole.
last game.
Yo, my mom is like that.
I'm like,
I did the Gladys night. She was like, how come you never do anything for me? I'm like, I paid for a whole ass flight for you to come out here.
Like,
you met Gladys night. Like, you performed. Like, what?
What? Like, what are you talking? It's all about what you can do.
Yo,
what you did for me lately.
What have you done for me lately, for sure?
But I was so happy that I was able to get that moment. And then at that time, I'm not gonna say I was never a fan growing up. You're gonna be a fan because of his greatness and all. But at that moment when I was
you're Team Bron.
At that moment when I did that, I was like a super fan at that point. It felt great.
Yeah.
And I was like, So I'm glad that, and a lot of people had those moments with him, whether they're in his last few years or whatever, that they were able to give him his flowers. So he got a lot of flowers before he got up out of here.
I'll be honest, man. So I crossed paths with Kobe one time when I was still working for the Wizards. His last year, 2016, they played. The Lakers came, played the Wizards, and somehow they beat the Wizards as well. You gotta ask John. I gotta ask John about that. I still don't know how them niggas lost that game, man. They were up. Kobe was cooking Otto Porter. When I say he was slow roasting OP, I mean like, oh my God, it was nasty, bro. It was nasty. And when the game was over, they won. Come back. I'm in my dressing room. I come out. Kobe's walking by. He's super excited because they just won. He's like pumped up like he just won a championship.
Wow.
Which is crazy in the tunnel, right? So I'm like, I gotta ask. It's the last time. I'll probably like, you know what I mean? I'm like,
right.
Cole, can I get a picture? And he looks at me with like the fuck out of here. And then he's like, yeah, I'll be right back. I waited in the hallway like Will Smith waited for his dad. I'm like, he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back. And he never came back, man. But just to see the jubilation in that moment, like. He really just cared about winning, bro.
Right.
Like, that was his prime objective, to be that happy to beat a Wizards team in the regular season in, like, January. He was, like, pumped. They were sorry as fuck, but he was just excited, man. I was like, oh, shit, but he cooked Otto Porter ass.
One thing that I took from all of this, we all, like fans of sports, we take it so seriously for whatever reason, and it is what it is in sports. We take things seriously, but we, and I say collectively because I'm speaking for fans, but we've been putting, we put LeBron and Kobe against each other for years.
Yeah. Oh,
for
yeah, that's
years.
terrible. That's
for years.
For no reason.
We put them up against each other for years, and it was so fulfilling before he passed to see
him and Bron,
like that, and like all of this, like his last tweet, his last IG post was like a passing of the torch, of some sorts, and like that, and I was just like, yo, that's crazy. Like people put these guys against each other, who the best are, and they're like, they love each other.
Yeah, man.
And like we're just, no, he's better than him. He's sorry. He's horrible. He can't mess with him. Blah blah blah. And they're like.
And and you know what?
It's a natural thing.
We did this a little bit last night, right? Like we talked. We were talking sports, and sometimes, man, like we want to be so right about the things that we have conviction about, that we do it at the expense of potentially talking down on someone else's accomplishments. And I want to be more.
To a point when we do it, we gotta say, "Now, listen, I'm not talking down."
Yeah, I gotta throw out the disclaimer. But we did do that a lot. Yeah. I do wonder though, right? As somebody who's a part of Bron's internal circle, hey man, hey Chase, come on, man. I want to ask, like, so was there a moment you think when Bron was very competitive about overtaking Kobe, like Kobe was Mike? Was that something that he was like he talked about at all?
I don't know. Well, that's not something he ever talked to me about.
Okay.
And I don't, honestly, the way Bron is, I don't think there was ever a moment where he really felt like that. I think he really, like, he's the guy that like lets the game come to him.
Okay.
And I think he's confident enough in his skill and his skill set to know that, like, anything that he wants to do, that he'll accomplish it at some point. I don't think he's egocentric enough to be like, yo, Kobe's 3, I got to get to 3 by any means.
Okay.
If I got to shoot this ball 100 times, Kobe scored 81, I'm going, no.
Well, not that, but just to be widely regarded as the best. Like, do you think that there was a moment when he was like, yo, I want everyone to know that I'm better than Kobe Bryant? Because out the gate, Kobe was like that with Mike.
Yeah. So I'll say this. I don't think that there was ever a, and like I said, he's never told me that, and I don't think there was ever an intense feeling like that, but I do recall that everyone probably recalls that interview in the I forgot what finals it was, but it was in Golden State, and someone I forgot what the question was, but he made a remark, and his answer was, because I'm the best basketball player in the world.
Yeah.
Like
that's
so
a
that
fact, though.
he knew it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, not that it takes away from the greatness of anybody else in the league, whether it's Kobe or anybody else, but that when I heard him say that, I was like, yo, this is what I've been trying to tell everybody for like years. That was dope, but I don't think there was I don't think there's ever been like a vindictive or I gotta be better than Kobe or like it's just I just want to be the best player I can be.
Gotcha.
And if it happens to be the best player in the world, then that would that man loved Kobe.
Yeah.
That man like I saw it with my own eyes. Like that man loved Kobe, man.
D Wade,
and it's so crazy because when that happened, he was the first person I thought about. He was the first person I thought about, and
because the night before, it's
twofold. Threefold. First person I thought about, because I'm like, dang, he just passed Kobe, this and that. I'm like, I know he loves Kobe, and I know this is killing him. Mm-hmm. And the third one was like, yo, like I don't even want to say it, but you know, like I'm just like, man, like. I just hit Ron up. Maybe what's today? Thursday. I just hit him yesterday. I just hit him up for the first time. Like I hit Vanna because I knew his phone was gonna be blowing up, and I just told him like, you know, we love you guys, send our love. I know his phone's going crazy, but I just want to let you know that we love you. We're praying for you guys, the entire family, the whole family, and all of that. Like we love you. But you know, after he made a statement, then you know he went to Bronny's game. I know he was, you know, in a better mood. You know what I'm saying? So I just sent him a text yesterday, right before my flight here, and just told him I love you, bro. I just told him like I love you, bro, and that was it. He hit back like love, bro, and I'm like, and I, you know what I'm saying? Like he would, and I could tell he was a lot of exclamation marks with the love. You know what I'm saying? So I knew he was. But sometimes, man, you just gotta let your friends know
you love them, man. Yo, I'm going to start being more adamant about that, right? Yeah. And I'm pretty good at just checking on people behind the scenes, like the Twitter shit, the social media shit, like all that shit looks cool. Right. But I'm a fan of hitting someone direct. Right. Yo, how you doing? You good? How's your spirit? And I'm gonna just take it up another notch.
I do good with that. I gotta be better with it. I also have to be better, and this is me being very transparent. I have to be better with that with family too. Like I have to be. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not good with that. I haven't talked to my dad in over 2 years.
See, I have to be better. We all have to be better. And it's crazy because it seems like there's always a situation like this with Kobe where something happens with Nipsey. Everyone's like, yo, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? And then at some point, that goes away. Like, we can't let that go away. We gotta, you know what I'm saying, continue with you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but yeah, rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace, Gigi. Rest in peace.
Sound right, man.
And everyone else that lost their lives. That's crazy. It doesn't sound right at all.
It doesn't, man. And you know what? Like, people pass, and Kobe's passing was traumatic. Gigi's passing, I think, is the thing that takes it over. From bad to the worst thing I could possibly have heard.
I haven't seen him without her in maybe 2 years.
Bro.
It got to the point I forgot the man had other daughters.
Like, I thought she was the oldest. Because I think Natalia's the oldest.
I forgot about her until he posted her for his birthday.
Bro.
For her birthday the other day. I'm like, oh, we do have a 17-year-old.
What a sad story.
They were best friends.
What a sad story, man. And I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm glad that we were able to witness
Greatness.
that, and he was able to affect as many people's lives as he affected, and in whatever aspect. Shout out to all my family on the West Coast. Shout out to my guy Hit Boy especially, man. So, like, I know guys on the West Coast that love Kobe, like, grew up like that's like
yo, he was the Magic Johnson for this generation. Right. Like, you know how enigmatic Magic Johnson was and how endeared he was to the community. Like, Kobe was that, but for 20 years, we got to see this guy go from 17 to 30. Like,
somebody brought up a great point. Everybody in the league is basically it's Kobe's league because. There's no there's like Bron, but he's in his 17th season. Right. And really, like that Jordan was like our guy, but like everybody else grew up looking up to Kobe,
bro.
Like grew up like Devin Booker. I've had conversations with Devin Booker. I'm telling him, like, why you don't play in Bron's, man? He's like, man, I love the Kobe's, man. I gotta play in Kobe's.
Tobias Harris, same way. Like that's his guy, man.
Shout out to Trey, like Trey Lyles, love Kobe. Trey, Kobe won, hit 60. Against the Utah Jazz.
On Trey Lyles. Didn't he get... You busting Trey Lyles' ass.
Stop doing that. Shout out to my guy Trey. But Trey is a super Kobe fan, so shout out to Trey.
Oh, well, but I can tell because he gonna let that man give him the drogas.
Stop it, man. But like everybody in the league right now is It's Kobe's league.
He was. I mean, and Bron has pieces of it, but really Kobe is the last person that was cut from that cloth.
Right.
Right. Like Westbrook has it a lot of bit, but doesn't
What do you
have
mean the cloth?
The cloth of like I'm gonna kill you, nigga.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm gonna kill you. Like we not dapping up. We between these. It's there was a tenacity that Kobe had, and an artistry, and when you marry the two, you get something that has only been seen one other time, and I think that was in Jordan, man. Like it's just something. There was just something different about Kobe, man. That he took MJ's DNA, and he brought it to millennials. You know what I'm saying? It was a millennial. I don't know, man. It's just sad, man. He fucking dated Moesha. Like,
I mean, went to prom with her.
He was in Destiny Child's videos.
It's crazy.
Like, you know what I mean? Like rap songs. Like he had
all that.
He had a bald head in high school.
He went with the fro, fro.
Like that's like Onyx. That's like you know what I'm saying? Like he was there. Like he was a. I think that Kobe and AI, of course, were the two people who intertwined and integrated hip hop culture and basketball culture.
No, it's definitely AI. When it comes to that, it's AI's league and Kobe's as well. If you look at everybody in the league right now, they're products of Allen Iverson, for sure. Tatted up, hip hop. The dress code has to change because of AI. And guess what? Now the dress code, there is really no dress code anymore. I mean, everybody just gets fly with whatever they do. But like AI, like
for sure. But in '96 though, like two young guys entering the league as Jordan is, you know what I'm saying, still at the top, at the pinnacle, but slowly transitioning out.
Right.
Like those are two guys who were young, energetic, charismatic.
You have a pen?
And they were doing things within culture, bro. Like we got to see them when we watched television. We never got to see Mike. I never saw Michael Jordan on the Cosby Show.
Right.
I never saw Michael Jordan on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Martin.
Mike on a Gatorade commercial.
That's it, man. They seemed like they were one of us. You know what I mean? Like they just seemed a little bit more accessible than Mike was.
Right, much more accessible.
And Kobe was still distant, right? He was still distant, but there's just elements of the culture that he represented so subtly. And it was just like, even like the Kobe, those campaigns, like with super hip hop, that wasn't Jordan's lane.
Right.
Kobe Bryant, slam dunk giant, outplay the Kobe, son, don't try it. Like shit like that, man. Like the whole marketing plan. It's just
Kobe.
Yo, you feel me?
Kobe. Somebody said, I wonder if Kobe ever shot a ball to a piece of paper to a basket. Said me.
Yeah, Kendrick Perkins was wild and talking about, I want to go outside and shoot fadeaway jumpers. My nigga, please. Yo, Yo,
with that being said,
Kendrick Perkins broke up the Oklahoma City Thunder.
One day we got to wrap this up, right? Because we'll be out here talking. Yo, man.
They chose Kendrick Perkins over James Harden. They could have amnestied Kendrick Perkins.
I don't think they necessarily chose him.
They chose to give him the money that should have been reserved for James Harden. But that's a different podcast.
They needed a fierce big man at the time, they thought.
So where was he?
Thank you guys for tuning in. This is our third Friends of the Program podcast and our first live one at Soho Miami Beach
Super
House
Bowl week
with my Japanese homie, Rodney Rikai.
My Senegalese brother.
Yes, sir. Brother. We're out of here, man. Hey, hold on. And thank you for joining us, Chase. Is it Chase, right?
It's Chase. What are you drinking over there? Water?
Chase is not saying anything.
Chase is not saying anything.
Goodbye, guys.